Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Crown and today we are going to have some more stories that I hope that you will enjoy. But before we start, it will be so much appreciated if you would subscribe to the channel, like the video if you enjoyed it, and maybe leave a comment down below. These simple clicks would mean a lot to the future of this channel and really reward the effort that I put in every day. And now, without further ado, let's go! First story. Boomer tries to steal my baby. I'm a 20-year-old female with a 3-month-old son. We took our son to the park for the first time and they have swings good for little babies, so we had him there. And he absolutely loved it, by the way. There was an older lady there with 3 kids, I'm assuming her grandchildren, because they were pretty young and she seemed my grandma's age. She was eyeing us up since the moment we got there. My fiancé is a smoker, and he is not allowed anywhere near the baby while smoking, so he went to the baseball fields to sit and smoke. This is a decent distance away. Even though this is a very small town, I didn't know the woman as we didn't live in the town that we are currently at. We live in the biggest town in that area, but I was very familiar with this town as I lived here for many years when I was younger. So he was fine with leaving us alone. I just was not familiar enough to know the people anymore. My step-grandparents also lived here, so I felt comfortable. After my fiancé had gone over to the ballpark, this lady approached me and began talking to me. She asked me how I like babysitting, and I laughed and told her that I was not babysitting, and that this was my son. This set her off. She grabbed a hold of my wrist and told me not to lie to her, that I'm too young for this to be my son and that she doesn't believe me. She told me if I didn't produce valid forms of identity for both of us, she would call the police for kidnapping. So here is the issue with that. I did not carry my wallet on me that often, and the only form of identification I have for my son is his insurance card, as his birth certificate and social security card have not come in yet due to everything being bogged down from the virus. I told the lady that and she turned her grip on my wrist, stating that that's a lie because they give you documents at the hospital. They don't. It escalated to the point where she shoved me down and tried to grab my son, stating that she would be keeping a hold of him until the cops arrived. I quickly got up and grabbed my son from her. I did not punch her, but I did sort of bomb her nose, which I guess I did harder than I meant to as she started pleading. She yelled at me that she was going to press charges for assault. My fiancé was making his way back during this time and caught the tail end of the confrontation. Skipping ahead to when the cops show, they are talking to each of us, but the old lady won't stop screeching, so they take her farther away to talk. I'm in complete fight mode and terrified. I'm frantically explaining that I do not have an ID, but this is my son. We just came here to the park to play. If there was any way I could prove I was the mother of my son, I showed him a photo of him getting pulled from me, the C-section, and him on my chest a few hours later. Obviously he looks different now, but you can tell that it's the same baby. We were allowed to go home and were told we'd be hearing from someone about the assault and charges against the woman. We went to a lawyer who instructed us not to really talk about the case going forward, but there will be charges pressed against the woman and possibly against the police involved, as what they did during the situation was apparently very illegal. Update. We set up an appointment with a lawyer for this Monday. I will be going to the police station later today. We called ahead and made an appointment for 3. It is noon currently. Someone had mentioned seeing if the park had cameras. I was pretty sure they didn't, as it's a very small area, but I called anyway and it turned out they did. They agreed to send a copy of the footage to me, but they only have a couple, so I'm not sure if what happened was caught on tape as the cameras are near the pavilion and the swings are off to the side. I know I should have reacted better, but I was in such shock and It happened so fast. I feel very guilty for not protecting my son properly, and I would appreciate it if the comments about me doing a poor job about it would stop, please. Next story. Old man demands a specific seat on the train, gets racist when denied. Since my last train story seemed to be entertaining, I'll have another one. This happened around a month ago on my commute back home. The train was pretty full, but considering the current state of public transport in Germany, it was rather empty compared to usual. Only a few people standing by choice, a good amount of empty seats, and I sat down next to a nice lady. On my right there was this gorgeous girl, I guess around 25, using 2 seats. She had a huge suitcase that clearly did not fit into the luggage compartment overhead. For obvious safety reasons, it's forbidden to keep luggage in the walkway. Around 5 minutes after departure, an older man with a suitcase walked between us and stopped to lift his suitcase into the luggage compartment, right above the girl. He then stood there facing her, waiting for something. I watched the scene, confused. Clearing his throat, he asked her to move her suitcase so he could sit down. And the following conversation is paraphrased since it's been a while since it happened. Please move your luggage so people can use this seat. I'm sorry, but I cannot leave it in the walkway. Then put it in the luggage compartment like everybody else. It doesn't fit. It really doesn't. The suitcase was at least twice as big as the luggage that could fit in there. The old man's suitcase was tiny compared to hers. Don't be ridiculous. Mine fit. So yours should too. I'm sorry, it won't fit. There are quite a few free seats here though. She points to at least 5 empty seats in our section. One of them literally only 2 rows behind her. Stupid girl. Can't you see I've already put my suitcase in the luggage compartment here? Then move it to the empty seat or leave it here. It is only 2 rows away. No one will touch it. No, I want to sit here. So move your suitcase now. With every back and forth, the old man got louder and louder. At this point, our entire section was watching the scene unfold. One nice man decided to get involved. Sir, you need to calm down. Just take one of the free seats. It is obvious she cannot move the suitcase. Keep your nose out of other people's business. How dare you? I say, with the way you're yelling and making a scene, you are making it our business. The girl, clearly uncomfortable, decided to just ignore the situation to not escalate, but that only made it worse. Don't ignore me, young lady. Who do you think you are? Sitting there dressed like that. You need to respect elders. She tells him, to get respect, you need to give respect. Why should I respect someone like you? At this point, the old man reached an extreme volume level. He was screaming from the top of his lungs, demanding the seat. Other people got involved and it was a yelling contest, a heated back and forth, until the man pulled out his last resort, racism. I wouldn't have assumed the girl had any other nationality than German, because you couldn't really tell if she was anything else. Not that it would have been important anyways, but for some reason the man deemed her non-German. He started yelling the usual racist comments you'd expect. Get back to your country. Scum like you should not disrespect Germans like this. And so on. But the one that really caught everyone off guard was, you're in Germany. Speak German, witch. The girl spoke perfect German, accent-free, dialect-free, and the old man, on the other hand, spoke with a strong dialect, Bavarian. Everyone involved ate that up immediately, turning the table on him. The nice man tells him, and you're in North Rhine-Westphalia. Speak High German or Colonian, you prick. This whole thing went on for a good while, up until the old man started kicking against the girl's suitcase before trying to pull it out into the walkway, swinging his arm at her in the process. Multiple people stood up at that, getting between him and her. We threatened to call the police for assault, and that finally seemed to do the trick. Pissed off, furious, the man grabbed the suitcase, accidentally hitting himself with it, and storming off into another section of the train, all the while yelling profanities and racist comments. The poor girl was visibly shaken by the whole thing, but everybody calmed down as soon as he left. It was a really bad situation, but it was very nice to see everybody around standing up for someone getting bullied. Next story. Is this not fun anymore? Group email gone wrong. Many years ago, I, female, was dating someone, male, that hurt me, humiliated me, and did not stop to think how it could backfire on him. He pursued me and I liked him. We hit it off. Spent a lot of time together, dinners, going out, many nights at his place and so on. We were dating, and everything seemed great. Well, sometime into dating, he hurt me. I discovered lies, secrets, and other women. He was also really mean and hurtful to me when I found this out. I realized it was all lies and games to him. As my last communication to him, I decided to email him instead of speaking to him over the phone. I went through the disappointment I had in him, wasting my time and emotions and so on. My closure was him. Well, I started getting notices in my email account, and at first I thought they were spam, not bothering to see what the emails were in regards to. I finally take a look to see what's going on and my heart drops in. I gasp. He had forwarded my email to all of his friends. A group of male and female friends, couples, singles, and lifetime group of friends. Best of friends. They are going back and forth laughing at me, mocking me, calling me pathetic, saying that I deserve the pain for being stupid trusting him. It just went on and I was included in all the replies. It was horrible. I cried for a minute until I realized something. I realized I had impositioned the red flags I had ignored. It hit me at that moment, all the things he had said about his group of friends. All the stories I had heard, all the secrets I knew. That's right. I gathered myself, poured a nice drink, laughed and said, "It's on." I replied to the group email saying, "I'm glad you guys have found my hurt entertaining, my personal life not respected, and your friend's behavior acceptable. My expressing myself to him and how things ended is not shameful. What he did with my email and me is shameful. But since you guys enjoy this type of entertainment, I figured why not join in on the fun." I went through the whole list of friends so-and-so. You're not included in any activities and invites because they think your wife emasculated you and no one respects you anymore. Also, to his wife, no one likes you. They think you're stuck up and laugh at you because that rock you flaunt is glass, not a real diamond or any other real stone. For the one that says I deserve to be treated this way unhurt, aren't you the one that just had her violent, abusive boyfriend destroy your whole apartment for the what time in a row already? Didn't you go crying to your friends about it? I guess you must have deserved it as well, huh? And just so you know, everyone thinks you're an idiot too for being with a guy that treated you that way. Welcome to the club. I went through the list and revealed everything. Every secret. Everything they thought and said about each other and so on. Everything they didn't know and did not want others to know. I ended it with, "Wow, this was fun. I'm glad we did this. I feel so much better now." And if anyone is hurt, upset, feels violated, humiliated, or angry, do not bother emailing me. Talk to your little friend that thought this was a great idea. And also remember, you guys thought it was a great idea and fun as well. The silence after that was the sweetest sound ever. Months after that, he messaged me, tried apologizing and told me all his friends dropped him. He had nowhere to stay and asked if he could sleep on my couch. Nope. He tried reaching out a few times throughout the years, trying to make amends, explaining that he lost everyone after that. That group of lifelong friends was done. He had his own place, working and so on, but he was alone. Edit. That whole group disintegrated instantly from what he said. It was chaos. Relationships ended and no one remained friends after that. The only thing they were in agreement with was that they hated him. Next story. Poorly drafted exit documents equals free pension. This happened to a family member and it's my favorite legal mess-up story. My family member was a partner in a law firm. The way a lot of law firms work is that partners who retire get a pension. It is based on their last few years' average salary or something similar. This only applies if you truly retire and not go work somewhere else. And my family member was not near retiring. The two other partners who were in his area of practice at this firm decided to push him out. Instead of trying to come to an agreement for him to leave, they ambushed him in a meeting where they had already drafted exit documents for him to sign. They included some token severance, but basically said, "Pack your things, or we are going to make this a huge hostile thing and drag your name through the mud," and so on. There is a non-compete clause in a lot of partnership agreements, so you can't leave and take clients and go work somewhere else right away if you're a partner. In their haste to prepare these documents, they negated a bunch of these clauses so he would be able to work at another firm without waiting the non-compete period. But they missed that some of those clauses were also what govern the part of the pension clause that doesn't let you get the pension if you work for another firm after you leave. Basically, they wrote documents that gave him a pension way early and for the rest of his life, and based on some really good years he'd had for the firm. He noticed this when he read them because he's a good lawyer and knew they messed up, and also knew he would be able to get a job pretty easily, so instead of negotiating or fighting it, he just signed them as is and left. They were very surprised. They expected a huge fight or a long negotiation, but he ended up getting another job pretty quickly at a different law firm. He waited a couple of months and then called one of their other partner and said something like, "So when are you going to start making the payments?" At his age when this happened, they would have had to pay him a large amount of money every year for maybe 40 to 50 years. They basically crapped their pants. Once they went back through and realized what they had forced him to sign, they started making offers to buy him out of his pension. He eventually settled for a multi-million-dollar payout, all because he signed the documents they put in front of him. And now we have reached the end of today's stories. Thank you for watching and see you next time.